Hello everybody, it is I, the Mr. Chicken, and welcome to the Pink Trombone. I can't say that with a straight face. This is not a game in any way, sense, or form. This is, in fact, a tool that I use in my, I would like to say, daily work. I don't know if that actually applies or not, considering the current situation. To give a bit of context, I am currently at university. I'm a master's student studying applied linguistics. And what that means is that I study language. I study how it works, how it evolves, and how it is used in daily life. Part of that is understanding how humans, as people, as biological entities, utilize language. That involves looking at how our bodies produce it, how we utilize the organs that we have and the skeletal structure that we have developed to produce understandable language. And understandable is merely a concept depending on the development of our brains, but you should hopefully get my point. So this is something that actually I saw from a separate YouTube video, but I wanted to bring to people's attention because a lot of people have seen things like this or things along this line and they take it to be some form of joke. And whilst it can be funny to look at this, and I'm no exception, there will be some bits of this which I will wholeheartedly laugh at. I want to really make a point in the fact that language is something that is very important to me. It has been a massive part of my life, and it is something which I think that we shouldn't forget. That is very easy for me to say as a native speaker of English, and I really do hate using the word native speaker because it's very singular in its utilization. What I mean by that is that it's easy for me to say as a native English speaker, for example, the lingua franca as it is at the moment is English, and that is very easily understood. But there are so many languages that are out there in the world today and throughout history which deserve to be studied, deserve to be learned, deserve to be utilized, but which people throw aside saying, no, I don't care, these people should learn English because English is the lingua franca. And that's a view which I wholeheartedly discard. I started by learning French at school. I then progressed to German, got my undergraduate degree in German, and now I'm moving on to a master's degree in applied linguistics. And this is literally, this entire video is not for any sort of purposeful review or anything. This is just for fun. You know, it's a Saturday night. Why not? I thought I'd give you a little bit about me and subject you to some of my personal life. So if you think this is interesting, cool. If you don't, sod off and do your own thing, you boring bastards. So this is the Pink Trombone, what they call the bare-handed speech synthesis. So what this does is effectively it synthesizes and it visualizes for the layman, including me, because I still have no idea how this works really, how speech works in the human body. Before I activate this, because when I do activate this, there's just going to be sound and it's going to be incredibly annoying. You may be able to see that what you've got here is a very diluted picture of the nasal cavity, the soft palate, hard palate, lip, the oral cavity, tongue control, voice box, pitch, etc., etc. So if you imagine that you take your head, you turn it sideways so that your eyes, nose, mouth are facing to the right, and then you cut it in half. Yeah. So you're looking effectively at a cross-section of your own head. So what you've got is your nasal cavity, so your nose is here. You got when you breathe in, big deep breath that goes in through your nose, all the way to the back and down to your lungs. Your oral cavity, go away menu. Oh, it's already started it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop that. There you go. See, you got an example of it just there. So what this does is it actually helps people like me, linguists and applied linguists, anybody who is trying to... Who gave you permission to talk? It helps us to visualize and also concept audibly how these all work, because when you see things that are written down, you say, oh, for example, we will see a question says, okay, produce an alveolar fricative, and to most people, can you stop, please? To most people, that won't make any sense. To most people, that won't make any form of sense, and to me, that doesn't make very much sense at all. But it's these kind of tools help us to analyze speech and to visualize it in a way that we can control it and produce the sounds that we want to make. So on the right hand side, when I move this, it's going to make some sort of sounds here. You've got the two lips. So actually, when I move, so if you imagine this, the two lips are being closed. When you open them slightly and push air through, makes an ooh sound. So ooh, yeah. That's too funny. I can't help it. Fuck. So one of the things that I just really want to get across is the fact that the human body is capable of producing so many sounds. I mean, there is over 7,000 languages in use today, and that's 7,000 in use currently, not including dead languages, which is over 7,000, and that is all they are all produced using the biological forms that you see in front of you on this screen, which to me is just mind-blowing. It's unreal that we can contort and utilize these biological aspects in so many different ways that it produces 7,000 languages, which include however many thousands of words, a lot of which, understandably, may have similar meaning. They may have similar words. They may have borrowed words like English does from German and French and pretty much every other language, because we fucking steal from everybody. But still, it's nuts. It's utterly nuts. But the one thing, which is probably going to be the most comedic thing which I'll have ever experienced as a language student, is okay, I want you to imagine that you're in a very silent exam room at university or whatever degree or whatever level that you get to. I'm not going to judge. Imagine that you're in an exam room with between 80 to 100 students. Okay, so it's a pretty big exam room, right? I want you to imagine that half of that exam room are language students. And one thing that we're taught is that in order to differentiate between what is called a voiced or an unvoiced vowel, a voiced or an unvoiced vowel, or a voiced or an unvoiced consonant, sorry, not vowels, is to vocalize it. So you're there whispering under your voice, effectively going something along those lines. So imagine 60 people making this kind of noise. I can imagine that anybody else taking an exam that isn't language would probably get pretty confused and they think they're summoning some sort of deity. But this sort of thing, so what I did just there was I manipulated the tongue control. So this big ridge that you can see that I'm currently controlling with my mouse is in fact your tongue. And by moving this, you can create separate sounds. So that's an R sound because it's right at the back. And the more you move it to the front, the more of an E sound you make. Just try it and you will see what I mean. So R, the tongue is towards the back, and then E, the tongue is towards the teeth, and it goes up. And it almost touches the hard palate. You can also shut it off completely, which I think is brilliant. There is also this thing down here called voice box control. which I will delve into in a little bit. Let's see if I can make it work this time. Nope. So with this you can improve or de-improve, I suppose, the pitch. So I can make it sound like I'm castrated. Or like I sound like Darth Vader. And for anybody, and I do mean anybody that has any interest in language or any interest in wondering how any of this works, because frankly, even linguists to this day, including myself, I will wholeheartedly say this and admit this, I don't understand how any of this works at all. Realistically, I understand a bit of it, but not all of it. Just have a go. It's a bit of fun. It's something to learn whilst we're all stuck in this horrendous lockdown. Take this time, take this opportunity to learn something about your own biology. To learn how it is that you are able to produce these incredible sounds, to formulate these sentences, which you know instinctively how to do. Yes, of course you've had training, you went to school, but you knew how to do this from when you were a small child, before you went and had formal training. So just take a minute to think and have a look. Have a bit of a study, learn something new about yourself, learn something new about your biology, learn something new about language, because language is the root of all communication. It is the root of, therefore, everything we do. Study a language, study a sign language, study something new. That's all I ask. Just take something new, learn something new every day, and it's a way to stave off the boredom of self-isolation. So thank you for bearing with me during this, introduction? It's not exactly a playthrough because it's not exactly a game. Through this rant about the English language. But thank you for watching. If you're interested in this, if you're interested in me doing other linguistics sort of videos, then I'd be happy to do more about it. I can always recommend other links for things that you may be interested in regarding linguistics and language. Please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys, I suppose, in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.